Hello friends, welcome to a video on human design. And I am going to share some information about two of the centers. They are related to each other, the head and the ajna. The head and the ajna are at the top of your human design chart, and it looks like, okay, so this is a human design chart, and you see there's 9 centers, and the head is the yellow and the ajna is the green. So if you've run your chart, if you've got a colored head and ajna, then this information is for you. So the head and the ajna center have to do with inspiration, concepts, knowing, details. The mind is designed to reflect, and the mind is not designed to do anything. Here's where we get in trouble. Our society tends to, especially I think Western society, is very much romanticized this whole mind thing. It's like think, 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 think. Here's the problem. The mind center, the head and ajna, is not connected to a motor in human design. And a center that's not connected to a motor is not able to take action. So again, let me show you the picture. So the head and the ajna is up here. Their connections are to the throat. The throat is not a motor. Your motors is the sacral center, the root, the emotional center, the spleen, and the heart or will center. So your head and ajna do not have a direct connection to a motor. So your mind cannot make things happen, which is true, right? All of us busy brain people, you can't make things happen. That's not how the mind works. So think about it. If we want to climb a mountain, where's the energy going to come from? It's going to come from an energy center. It's not going to come from your mind. Your mind has the idea of climbing, but your energy centers have to do the action. So your mind is a storage facility filled with everything you've been taking in your entire life, but no physical power. By continuing to try to let your mind decide, you're actually depleting your energy. You're depleting your energy resources. So all the talking that goes on inside your head is not meant to tell you what to do, but that's what's happening. Your mind tells you this and that and this and that, which can be stressful and confusing. Your thoughts, your ideas, your knowing, all coming from the mind, may be helpful to others, but it is not helpful to you personally. Now, years ago, when I was first learning this information, when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. I have great ideas for friends, for clients, family. Like, I can help anybody solve about anything. And a lot of my ideas work really well, but I can't figure things out for me. Like, my mind often cannot figure out the best thing for me. And I used to go, gosh, what is wrong with me? Why can I help others and I can't help myself? Well, because my thoughts are not of much use to me. So our minds are like computers. It stores, it processes, it takes in information. That's what it does. And that's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. But it's not going to know. My mind, head and ajna, are not going to tell me what is correct for me. In human design, what tells you what is correct is your type and your inner authority. And I will address that in another video. So the ajna below the head center is, okay, so the head is the center of inspiration. So if you have that defined in your chart, you're going to feel under a lot of pressure, mental pressure. So this center takes things in, processes, stores things. You want to make sense out of everything. And it's about the pressure to grasp something that's not yet been understood. And folks with this center defined often have headaches and migraines. So inspiration is rooted in what you see and hear. So when we try to get mental resolution, we only create more anxiety for ourselves. Folks that have anxiety issues I think often have defined head and ajna because you're trying to figure it out, which of course is what those centers are doing. The healthiest thing you can do for yourself is be patient and know that at some point understanding will come. You'll get your answers. And I have found this to be very true for myself. I get an understanding of people and situations, but it's over time. It's not necessarily in the moment when I'm like, I want to know. Okay, well, I want to know, but I'm not knowing right now. We need to learn to be patient, and that's hard. That's hard. So we want to rationalize something, we want to understand something. The urge for that is understandable, but we need time. You'll make sense. At some point, we will make sense of the past. We will make sense of situations. We will make sense of people. I have found this to be true for myself and folks I have worked with. So, if you have this center defined, you can be deeply inspiring to other people, and your thoughts and inspiration are helpful to others, but not yourself. Now, the ajna is the center of conceptualization. It's a research center. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, I love to research things. I need to research things. So it's always focused on this or that, like trying to figure things out. It's very dichotomous, it's very black and white. And the mind is very busy. It's busy, busy, busy. It's always chattering away. So it has a marvelous ability to process information. Great, great. As long as you don't try to make it run your life. We don't want to do that because it's not going to work. If you were to take all the mental ideas that come to you and act on them, you'd be insane or you'd be in jail because your mind is going to tell you all kinds of things. Do this, do that, do this, do that. You can't, that's not a way to direct your life. But I want you to hear that it's normal for your mind to do that. Like, that's what minds do, that's what brains do. And if you have a defined ajna center, you have a fixed way of processing information. You have a set way of doing it. It's very reliable to you. It's very steady for you. You can count on it, which is a good thing. Okay. Yep. So if you have these two centers defined, or either one, you're going to feel under pressure. And here's the thing, just know that. If you're feeling pressured, if you're feeling anxious, if it's head stuff, if you feel like it's head stuff versus like body stuff, then know that that is just your mind doing what the mind does. Do not use that for making life decisions because it will not be correct. No matter what type you are, no matter what, the head in ajna is never anyone's inner authority. Never. Like, that's an absolute. So our thoughts are just thoughts. Let them come, let them go. Don't attach to them. Don't judge them. I mean, because that just doesn't do any good. Don't beat yourself up for them. Let them come, let them go. If it's useful, then use useful information to process through the rest of your system. Sure, like if you get a really interesting idea, don't go, oh, it's just my mind. You just want to run it through your type, your life strategy, and your inner authority to make sure it actually is a legitimate path for you. You are going to get ideas that are, going to work well. Not all the time, but you might. Run it through the rest of your system. And I will explain in other videos how to do that according to each of your types. But I just wanted to share some on the head and ajna, often a source of a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And if we just understand that's what's going on, it helps to relieve some of that stress. All right, until next time.